What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. We've got an unboxing, maybe more of an unbagging for you today. The Monsterbass September bag is here. So let's crack this bad boy open and see what's inside. Before we do that, if you guys like the content, you're looking for more unboxings, reviews, and fishing videos, we do that all here on the channel, as well as podcasts and go live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. So consider subscribing, smash the like on this video, and ring that notification bell so you can see when we drop more content. All right, let's see what's inside of this thing. Oops. First up, boring stuff, but important stuff, you get hooks. So you might have different hooks than me. I am in the Midwest Great Lakes region. And if you guys don't know, Monsterbass does regional bags. So there are 5 different regions in the country. I think 5. And depending on what region you live in, you're gonna get slightly different baits than what you might see me getting. So just keep that in mind. Also, I'm Team Monsterbass. I've been working with Monsterbass for a long time. So I'm gonna give you as unbiased an opinion as I possibly can. Mostly, I'm gonna just show you the baits. You decide for yourself if they're worth it or not. And then if you wanna get a bag, I got a link in the description below. If you decide to purchase a bag, you can click that link. It shows some support and helps us out at the show. All right, let's get into it. So let's start out with this month's highlight bait. We got the Mad Max Popper. This thing is absolutely sick. I got a chance to fish with this before it dropped. And if you guys want proof of that, go check out the Monsterbass YouTube channel because Paul and I were a big part of this video that was filmed by Sam Moore. So this thing was put together really well. It is a straight up hype reel, and we're lucky enough to have our ugly mugs grace the screen for this video. It was a ton of fun, so thanks to Rick and team for making us a part of that. And if you guys want to see the hype reel, go check it out. It's the introducing the Mad Max Popper video. You're also going to see like some Instagram reels and stuff like that where, you know, Homeboy's face might pop up here and there. Also, we were there with JC Dropshot, Alex Rudd, and Ben Nowak, and that was a freaking blast of a trip. But that aside, this is a fantastic bait. If you guys are looking for a topwater popper, and this is really like this season for this bad boy to be coming out, this would be an awesome option for you. I like the unique shape of the mouth to this. What poppers do, they bloop bloop. So it really pops well, it bloops well, it spits water really well with this unique shape to that. You've got the split ring there, obviously, to give it better control and action, so you can get that swinging sort of walking action back and forth. This thing does walk really well. And what I love on any popper I'm using is that little dressing off the back treble. So we got a little feather tied on there, a little streamer material, so you got that flash. And fish just really key in on this. Yes, you got like the front red treble. I'm not like a big red hook or treble guy. It doesn't seem to make a difference for me. You can always switch that out if you don't care about it, but mostly it's about this. This is the action for me right there. This comes in a whole bunch of different colors, so you're probably gonna get some different color options. You might not get this one right here. You might get this little bluegill pattern. My personal favorites from the lineup would actually be like more of the black and pink or the bone. So if you guys got one of those colors, congrats, that's awesome. We got a little bit of rattle to this thing, so you got some noise it's going to be making as it's walking across the water, and that unique shape, very similar to like a mega bass bait to me, is what I kind of see in this type of popper. Is great for that walking action, and it works really well. So again, I've fished with this thing a ton at this point, and I'm a huge fan. I've caught plenty of fish on it. It's kind of a confidence bait now. I wasn't really huge on poppers at any point in time, but this thing is starting to really bring me around, you know? So there you go, featured bait, nothing else matters. Let's get out of here. Okay, but wait, there's more. There's actually lots of other baits that we can check out. So the next one I'm gonna hit is actually a personal favorite for me, approaching the fall season in this transition time, the Spinnerbait. So right here, we've got one from Bass Hick. You guys might know Bass Hick baits that we've had in the box in the past, like the Big Anthony Popper, which is another great popper option. And this one right here, I'd say is pretty darn interesting. So it's got a nice jig head shape to it, coming in this like blue flaked silver coat right now. This thing is also a freaking ½ ounce. So it's a beastly weight. But that's fine. If you're running this on a high gear ratio reel, you can really put it anywhere you want in the water column, and that is what it's all about. Got a decently stout hook coming off the back, and then you've got, surprisingly, it has a hand-tied skirt. So for sort of a value price, because we sell these on the website too, if you go to monsterbass.com, for a value-priced spinnerbait, That's surprising to see a hand tied bait. So that's sweet. I like that a lot. And they went ahead and added flash to the blades, which definitely makes a difference. Is just a cool, unique thing that you can do to change things up. So we've also got a painted back blade, which is chartreuse. And I don't know if you guys have heard me say this before, but chartreuse is a fantastic color and you should definitely throw it. I'd say at all times, but that's just my personal bias. So it's up to you. Chartreuse really works for us up here in Michigan, so I throw it all the time. This is a fantastic color combo for a spinnerbait. This is the color I'm throwing right now, that chartreuse, that white, a little bit of shad patterning here with that black in the back makes a big difference as well. That front silver blade can also definitely help on those sunshiny days. You got bluebird skies. Always like seeing this too, little beads and spacers on the blades there so they don't knock into each other too much while you're swimming this through the water. And it feels like a stronger wire. You never know with the spinnerbait till you catch a few fish. You start catching fish over 2 pounds, you're gonna find out real quick how strong the wire is on your wire baits. So we'll just have to put this one to the test and see what happens. Solid bait nonetheless. Next up, we've got a straight classic company here, Lucky Strike. So I know some of you guys are big fans of this company. I personally haven't had like a great amount of success with any Lucky Strike baits, but maybe that's just me. That said, you can't really go wrong with those shallow diving crankbaits, especially in this color, chartreuse and black. This is one of my favorite colors to throw in the river. I've got plenty of different square bills in this color already that I've been throwing around. Flat sides are gonna be coming up as the temperatures drop when we get into the real fall season. I'm excited for that. But otherwise, I'm just throwing around those good old square bills, man. There's nothing wrong with this. Look at those little goofy googly eyes. Always interested to see how, different companies' blanks perform. We've got like a 2-piece lip to this, so that's always something that kind of like concerns me at first glance. But once we get it on the water, we'll really get a better chance to see what the action is like. I do like the color. I like that it's a slightly longer, skinnier profile than like your short, fat crankbait, so it could stand out a little bit better. Seems to have okay, decent hooks on it. And we got that little orange chin there and nice heavy thud to that rattle. So great option for the river for me. That's where I'd be throwing this around a ton. But if you guys find some good structure, some rock, some wood, chuck this thing around there and see what happens. Always a good option. Okay, this next one is honestly something that is far outside of my comfort zone. Number one, I don't really throw swim baits, haven't really got into it yet. Do have swim bait setups and should get into it, but just don't have the experience yet. So this is definitely out of that range for me, but it's in the bag. So we gotta go try it. So maybe I just have to learn a new technique. We're gonna find out what we can do here. This is the Optimum Baits line through swim bait. Interesting. Panicked action. So I take it that's the tail movement is going to be very, very erratic. That should be cool. So Optimum Baits packaging, nifty galifty. So if you guys aren't familiar with a line through swim bait, first of all, let me show you the swim bait. This is probably as big as anything we're gonna throw around in Michigan. We can throw bigger. Basically, you're just saying, when I hit the water today, I'm only going after bigs, and if I catch 0 fish, that's fine, because the only fish I wanna catch is 5 pounds. So that's kind of the deal, and that's fine. That's definitely not my cup of tea. I'm more of a quantity guy. And so we got this pretty gigantic swim bait. I like the chartreuse highlight through the belly there. I think that really helps it stand out. It's got a hefty weight to it. And if you guys can see this here, see that silver? That is our line through section. So what's gonna happen is you have a hole right up here in the front. We're gonna run our line down through the mouth, out this section right here. And then down there, you're gonna tie on this included treble hook. So we're just gonna tie our treble right there. And we can run this a few different ways. So you can run it just tight lined, where if you let the bait drop, that treble might come loose and it's just kind of like dragging behind. Or you can take the treble hook and we just punch it into the bait here. So it's gonna run like that. Okay, you might have seen this maybe on like a Savage Gear bluegill or something like that. I've definitely dabbled in these baits, but like I said, way outside my comfort zone, something new to me, something I'm gonna have to play around with and really learn to get comfortable with. I mean, swim baits definitely work. There's no argument there. I mean, especially if I'm going after toothy critters on the water, this could be a fantastic option. And maybe that's what I do. Maybe that's where I go for it. Looks like it's got a ton of action to it. Does smell like really plasticky, so maybe this is something I throw actual scent on just to mask that that non-natural scent and maybe taste to the fish. That's something different I could do. But nonetheless, pretty cool option, something I'm interested in. I do know like the benefit to having a line through, for example, is so that when a fish gets hooked, they kind of break free of this plastic bait, just slides up the line, and then it's like impossible for them to shake this treble. You know, you lose a lot of fish on like maybe crankbaits or lipless baits, especially if you're using the wrong rod as far as like power or action. But that is because they have this treble attached to, say, a heavy weight like this 3/4 ounce Hail Mary, and they're able to use the weight of the bait just to knock themselves loose of that treble hook. This can help you prevent that problem. Very interesting. Again, technique I gotta learn, but I'm excited to try it. I mean, that's mainly why I would get a box or a bag, in this case, like Monsterbass, is to try new things I otherwise wouldn't grab off the shelves. Because otherwise I just live in my little comfort zone. You guys know where that is, Shark Deuce Nation. All right, one more main bait before we get to the plastics. This one right here, I'm gonna point out, one, fat bastard frogs are sweet. They make some pretty cool designs, very unique colors, different unique frogs. But my one gripe with this bag is that I already have this frog. So I know that happens from time to time. You might get a repeat bait. And I used to have it happen all the time in Mystery Tackle Box. I've had it happen in other brands you guys have seen me try on the channel. It used to happen to me all the time actually in like 6 cents bags, because I would get that divine shaky worm constantly. Maybe slight color variations here and there. That can be annoying. However, can you ever have enough frogs? I don't think so. And this is a pretty unique colorway in and of itself. It's just something that I think personally I'm gonna throw into a giveaway. So I think we should be dropping a giveaway here. Gee whiz, I don't know. Maybe in like a week we could do that. I don't know. So stay tuned. Next week we'll probably drop a giveaway video. It's coming. It's gonna happen. And I've actually got a teaser for you. These 2 boxes right here are full of giveaway materials. So I have a heck ton of baits that I'm gonna be giving to somebody here soon. So y'all subscribe and come back now for that. Like I said, I already have a crime scene frog. That's the name of this frog. It's right up here. He lives behind the BurlyFishing sign. So this one can go in my tackle box. That one can stay up there forever. And if this one breaks, then we'll just swap them out. But I think it's a solid frog. It does have a really wide base for walking. You can just say it's a thick boy. That's a thick, thick boy right here with that white and pink coming off the back. Very flashy. I'm a big fan of either white or black frogs. Personally, black frogs catch the most fish for me here in Michigan. That's just maybe my personal preference. But white frog, I mean, good option. Good way to change things up, I think. Last but not least, we have 2 bags of plastics. Now, this I like to see because you'll get some of these subscription boxes or bags and you end up with like 4 or 5 different plastics coming in here. And they might even be sample sizes. In this case, these are full packs from X Zone Lures. And if you guys know X Zone, they make some pretty fantastic stuff. And it's only 2 bags, so we're not overdoing the plastics. If you guys are like me, and you get these subscriptions especially, you've got like 1,000 containers of plastics that you basically never have time to fish with, because you got too many plastics to deal with. So nonetheless, I really like the X Zone plastics. This right here is a nice trick worm option. And again, we're coming into fall transition to fall. Shaky heads are starting to work a lot. I know Paul's been banging with them over on Lake St. Clair. This one is called the Deception Worm. It comes in the color Houdini. Wow, very interesting. 15. There's 15 in here. And it's a 6-inch trick worm. Check this out. Gosh dang, that's a lot of worms. So we have a very slender profile here, right? And I like the flat side to it. Personally, that's kind of my preference when you get a trick worm, is I like the flat bottom side to it. So I think that looks good. And this Houdini color is really interesting. It's basically like a watermelon, but then you have like this tan, more opaque under section there at the bottom. So it's a two-tone worm. It's got two colors to it, which is really cool. And then I like the shape, the design to it. We kind of taper down to that thicker section here. So again, if you shaky worm this thing, it is gonna have a lot of action, especially because check this out. This is unique to this type of worm. Look at that. They got two little pockets there on the tail end. So that, I would assume, and don't quote me here, I could be wrong, this is gonna cause more movement in that tail, especially if you're doing a shaky head, right? I think that's pretty cool. They also have a hook placement indentation there, a little guide for you, which would help with rigging. So very cool worm, big fan of that, and you get a plethora of them, 15. That is awesome. It is also floating worm there. So again, shaky head this thing, it's gonna float on its own. Those little pockets there should help you with action. Tons of action it will have. Nico rig this thing too. So shaky head, Nico rig, those are gonna be like my main two choices with this, I believe. Also pretty durable feeling, I like it. Last but not least, we have one of my personal favorite baits because you can Ned rig it, and that is the Muscleback Finesse Craw. This thing has floating claws. Okay, so it comes out of the package with those claws strapped together, so you pop them apart, boop. And then you have the nice stringy little appendages there, which give you tons of added action. It's in a watermelon color, fantastic color for basically all year, but something towards the end of summer works really well for us. And then check this out, claws, real thin, got a little bit of a flange to it, so they're gonna catch water just a little bit, and they're gonna move. And again, they're floating. But look, the body of this is the exact length, like a 2 3/4 inch, 3 inch size, the exact length of my Finesse TRDs from Z-Man. So this is a perfect Ned rig craw. So you throw this baby on a Ned rig, it's gonna be sitting up on the bottom like this, and those claws are gonna be going crazy. So this should really draw in some bites. If you throw this thing around rock, structure of any sort, you should get bit. It's pretty awesome. I love throwing this thing. If I'm bank fishing around ponds, great option. And in the river, also a fantastic choice. Okay, so let's run it back real quick. We had the X-Zone Muscleback Finesse Craw. 15 of those deception worms, fantastic trick worm, floating trick worm. Fat Bastard Crime Scene Frog, white and pink. Lucky Strike Squarebill, shallow diving crankbait there. Bass Hicks Spinnerbait, 1/2 ounce. That Optimum Baits line through swim bait there with that treble. And then one of those Mad Max poppers. Again, comes in a bunch of different colors. I've got a few, so hopefully you get a color you like, but these are fantastic topwater poppers. Oh, and hooks. Cool. There you have it. That is the September 2021 bag from Monsterbass. Let me know what you thought about this bag in the comments below. Again, I try to just present the baits, be as unbiased as I can. I am on the team. So if you do decide to pick up a bag like this yourself, please consider using our link below. Or if you buy anything from monsterbass.com, I don't know if you guys know this, they are really approaching more of a full-on bait and tackle shop on this website. So they've got apparel like BurlyFishing apparel, shirts and hats, and other awesome creators apparel there, as well as awesome Monsterbass stuff. And they've got all of the baits you've ever seen in the bags, as well as more. They had like the Chase Baits prop duster swim bait in there. That's never been in a bag or a box, but it's pretty awesome bait, and you can get them in multi-packs or bundles, and it's a little bit cheaper. So if you buy anything off the website, just consider using our link in the description below. We appreciate you so much for considering that. And if you like the unboxings, reviews, and fishing videos we do here on the channel, consider subscribing, smash the like on this video, and ring that notification bell. Thanks a lot for watching today, you guys, and we'll see you on the next video.